How's it going, everybody? So, in this little video, I'm going to just kind of come out and say that here recently I put a lot of questions on my page. These are all questions that I've already asked myself at one point in time or another. I thought they were very relevant questions. I thought that there were questions that we as a society should look at when it comes to what we believe in, what we choose to believe in, how we act, um, how we appropriate ourselves, what we think, how we think, where the direction of our thought process goes. Right? Because, like, we as people, we're here to learn. I don't care if you got a PhD in college, right? I don't care if you've gone through 15 years of college, right? You may have book smarts. You may be as smart as a whip when it comes to whatever the topic is that you want to talk about when it comes to your degrees. But there is this thing called street smarts, right? Legitimate smarts, right? That is a legitimate thing. So a lot of the questions that I posted on here recently were to get us all thinking, to get us all looking at things from a different perspective, right? Because there's always more than one way to look at something. It's just a matter of how deep we want to go to figure it out. And for some things, we might have to work a little harder to get the equation solved. It's not always just going to be just quick little two minute equation solving and it's done. No. For most things in life, yes, that's exactly how it would be. But for other concepts and other ideas of life, it's going to take some work. It's going to take some work. A lot of the questions were philosophical, some of them were idealistic, some of them were just things that would get people to think about something you can sit around, right? Instead of like popping on that movie or, whatever, that you can sit and you can think about. And there's more to come. That's just the first wave because I'm trying to evolve and keep moving forward, right? Some of that stuff was also for like a forward progression thing for when it comes to people and society. Because today we have all these things that we are constantly being bounced off of here, right? We have societal norms and we have trends and we have um, theories and we have ideas and we have concepts of understanding and we have political ambitions and we have this, right? We have all these things that we're constantly being bounced off of here. And it will cause us to get off the path of true understanding, and it'll send us down rabbit holes of things that aren't really relevant, if you will, like the trends, right? I've seen a lot of the trends on here. Anyways, but illusions, by the way, everybody, just so we all know, all these trends that we're all into out here, most of them are all illusions. This is an idea that someone come up with because they were bored. Um, but there's the truth of it. Um, helping other people, That's what I'm here for. And I want you guys to all know that I do love you. I do absolutely care about you. In every way. And I want nothing but the best for each and every one of you out there. I'm only hoping and trying to change things for the better and get people to think for themselves. Because everybody just wants to be a follower anymore, and nobody even thinks to be a leader. Even some of the most powerful people out there, whether they want to be honest about it or not, they're more followers than they are leaders. They're just coming up with ideas or concepts or things that people can latch onto that will hopefully drift them forward. But whether or not it will or not, it's a different question, right? But for a lot of that stuff, they're spitballing. And they're fishing, if you will, right? They're casting that line out there and they're trying to reel people in, right? Trying to get people on board for their narratives. That's what a lot of these things are out here. And so that's where a lot of these questions were, is they were to get people the ability to think for themselves and not just because of what someone else told them to believe or told them to think. I try to be a free thinker because there's always more than one way to dissect something. There's always more than one way to think about something. So that's where a lot of these questions that I posted recently were all about. Free speech is also a free thought. Never been much of a follower for me. I've always tried to be a leader. I've always tried to be the example, learn so I can be the example, grow so I can be the example, put my best foot forward so that way I can help others put their best foot forward. Free thought. It is the same as free speech. Nobody can tell you that you have to think a certain way. Nobody can tell you that you have to speak a certain way, or that you can't speak, or that you can't think for yourself. But, my good folks, love you guys. Have a great night. Until next time.